We'll do our intro.
This is Coffee.
And I'm KiyeBerries.
And we are here at BlizzCon 2019. We're down here in the Blizzard Arcade. Looks like some people are playing Deathwing over there.
Looks like Deathwing has joined the Nexus in the Blizzard Arcade.
The goal here is to get some first impressions of people coming out of the Deathwing booth. Looks like some people are on their way. Let's take a look. Okay, first runner up here. Looks like a familiar face. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Laura, or Lake Foo.
Laura, did you get a chance to play Deathwing?
Not yet, because the line is huge, but hopefully I can get it done before today or tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Have you heard anything about Deathwing? Have you looked at some of the new abilities? I mean, what's your take on this new hero?
I think he looks huge, massive. Yeah, I think he looks super fun to play. I'm worried about, maybe getting stuck because it's so big,
He's huge, and I'd tell you if I had $1 for every time I heard that. Am I right? Laura, as someone who plays World of Warcraft quite a bit, how does this Deathwing compare to maybe the one you're familiar with in Cataclysm? I mean, do you feel like it looks pretty similar?
I'm going to change the tone a little bit. He's smaller this time. Not as big.
Something you don't like to hear.
No, yeah.
I agree with that. I personally had a chance to play him, and he feels very unique. He feels super special. I think if he was any bigger, he might get stuck.
Yes. He won't be able to get out.
That's right. We all know that's not good.
Happy BlizzCon! Happy Deathwing!
Woo! Bye-bye, Laura. Have a good BlizzCon. Cheers. All right, we've got our next batter up here. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are.
I'm Smoogie. I'm a HOTS player. Been a Blizzard fan for a long time, since Brood War and Diablo 1.
Welcome, Smoogie. Have you been to BlizzCon before?
This is my second time.
Well, welcome back. I guess the reason we're here is we're trying to get some first impressions for Deathwing. Have you had a chance to play him today?
Yes, I played him once. I played him earlier, so it was a lot of fun.
What were some of your first impressions?
He's massive. I loved it, honestly.
I feel like we're seeing a trend today. That's number one on the docket, pretty much 9 times out of 10. People are impressed with that sheer size.
Yeah, it's actually kind of ridiculous. I think the animations wise, like when he's doing his abilities, it's actually kind of holds true to like what Deathwing is. Obviously, they kind of had to make it to where he can fit into the meta and what have you. But as far as abilities, like when he casts stuff and when he actually does his abilities, it's actually really, really nice to look at.
It's kind of interesting because this time around, this brand new hero, he only has one ultimate ability. What was it like having, kind of a lack of diversity in that regard? Did you still feel like there was dynamic talent choices to be made, even only having one ultimate?
Yeah, because pretty much he kind of has 2 ridiculous ultimates, right? Like he has the R where he can literally, it's like a mini Ragnaros wave, and then he slides, literally flies right behind.
The Cataclysm ability, right?
Pretty much Cataclysm. And then, but at the 10 talent tier, if I remember correctly, you get a fear around you, an AoE fear. So he literally has a mini Gul'dan fear. Those are literally like you can just ult behind them or into the line, fear, and then everybody's screwed for like a solid second.
You're telling me we don't have one, but now we have 2 fears to be worried about in the Nexus?
Pretty much, yeah.
NANI? How do you feel about his being unstoppable?
I'm okay with it. I mean, it kind of makes 0 sense for him to not be unstoppable.
He's the boss.
Yeah, because I mean, if you've got like Meriden's hammer, like let's be honest, it's a tiny little thing. That's what. Like what?
That's not going to touch our big boy dragon.
I don't even know if he really fits either a tank or a bruiser role, to be honest with you, because he's just different. It's going to be unique, kind of seeing how he does. I would say between the 2 forms, Worldbreaker you have a lot more impact with his abilities there. I feel like with Destroyer, when you go in with your E. I envision to play him. I'm probably playing him wrong, but when I go in...
First impressions, there's no wrong way to play him here, Smooch.
So, I mean, because you still got to play with the talents a little bit. So when you go in with the E, and you can actually dive in, and then when you use your AoE, like pretty much like melee ability to like hit things, I just felt like the damage wasn't there. But as Worldbreaker, I felt like you were doing the same amount of damage, if not more. And then with the additional stun, you just could control the fight so much more, I feel like.
All right, so Smooge, last question before I let you go. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Did you notice any of the XP changes? I mean, we saw a little bit today when the minions are dying in the lanes, they're dropping almost like some sort of an XP globe, and you have to physically collect the globe to accumulate that XP. How did that play?
Yeah, so I didn't even know that going into it, and so I kind of got stuck solo laning a few times, just habit of just picking up soak when people aren't, and I noticed the globes, and it was hello crew member. Most of the time, like the distance that you could have in order to soak experience was pretty safe, which is why you could have some of those stagnant lanes. I feel like with these experience changes, you have to actually step up a little bit closer to get to that. So for those ranged poke that could kind of push you away, they had to step up a little bit closer. So you're either going to have, just from my opinion, you're either going to have a really aggressive solo lane, which is going to be nice, or you're going to have the League of Legends style where it's just everybody's just literally stares at each other and they don't hit minions because they're going to wait till theirs to get closer so they can kind of safely soak. So I think you're going to see kind of both ends of the spectrum. So I'm curious to see how I play.
I mean, that sounds cool. That sounds like a more interesting solo lane. That's right.
Because I feel like you can do either or. Like if you play a more aggressive hero, then you can just punish the lane. You just keep them because you can really deny people experience. I just think it's going to make the solo lane a little bit more important than it has in the past.
That's great. I'm all for it. Hey, Smooge, thanks for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate you chatting about your experience with Deathwing. Yeah. I hope you enjoy the rest of the con, man.
All right, you too.
All right, cheers. Take care, buddy. All right, guys, we have our next victims here, fresh out of the Deathwing booth. Why don't you introduce yourselves? Tell us who you are.
Hey there, I'm Alex.
And I'm Stephanie.
Alex, Stephanie, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Is this your first Blizzcon?
My second.
Oh, awesome. Welcome back.
My very first.
Your very first? Well, welcome. Did you get a chance to play Deathwing by chance today in the Heroes of the Storm booth?
We did not, but we played against him.
He was killer.
He was killer. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, what was your first impression of him? I mean, how did he play in the game? Did you feel like he was kind of overpowered? I mean, how do you feel about him?
So the art was beautiful. The effects were incredible. The Deathwing we played against was controlled by a streamer, which might not be representative of
those
the
damn
player.
streamers.
But he was really cool. I felt like the permanent unstoppable might have been a little bit much, particularly because I'm playing a tank, and I like when people get stunned as ETC. But that's just my personal impression.
I felt the same way. I felt like the drawing on him and the animation was absolutely stunning. His moves were beautiful, but playing against him hurt. It hurt a lot.
Okay, well, I won't keep you too much longer. I'll let you go walk that off a little bit. Last question for you guys. They did a recent change, or this is the change live on the BlizzCon show floor. XP changes. The minions are now dropping XP globes that you have to actually physically go and pick up to accumulate XP for your team. How did that play into your game today?
As a more veteran player, I soak every lane. I honestly didn't notice, but I like the idea as a way to teach new players to soak.
I play Nazebo and I love it.
I bet you do. Yeah, I'm thinking, honestly, that's going to come into play mostly in the solo lane, and I think that you're going to see a much more interesting matchup in that solo lane, especially with heroes like Nazebo. I think it's going to be super rad. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to the Whelps Cave on the realm Grobulus and WoW Classic. We're going to be downing Ani this weekend, so we'll see you out there.
All right, good luck on your tier 2 helmet.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Take care, you guys. Thank you so much.
too, man. Thank
Cheers.
Tim Trixler Frazier.
Now we're both handsome and much better people after it.
I feel very handsome
Yeah.
next to you. Just
Little
being in
bit.
your handsome aura.
Don't even be like that, Kai.
You're such a
No,
so
you're the
beautiful.
one radiating all the handsomeness. Don't put that on me.
Oh wow.
I'm just here to try and look cool.
You know who looks cool? Deathwing. Tell me about
We're
it.
interviewing right now.
It's recording.
Oh, just the entire time you're just recording? Okay. Yeah, I played Deathwing. He was pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you want to know about him?
Did you feel powerful, or did you feel like you were a big target?
Yeah, I did feel powerful. I mean, I was a big target as well. Specifically because I played against people that apparently watch my stream, so they decided to pick Karazim and all that fun stuff. And that was super cool. But yeah, we wound up winning, which was nice. There was a concern by a lot of people that initially saw the Deathwing spotlight that I got to be a part of, that he didn't look like he did enough damage. Those rumors can be squashed. He does enough damage. I was the highest in the game. You know, no big deal. It might be my skill, but it could be the character. 80k damage, so he does destroy. I will say, at first glance, it seems like World Breaker is the way to go, just having the range to float back, mostly because you're being focused most of the time.
Right.
But overall, he felt like a really fun hero. I was worried that he wouldn't feel impactful, but when you actually get your hands on him, he is quite devastating.
Earlier today, when we were at a panel describing Deathwing, they described all of his abilities as feeling like heroic abilities, being really impactful and strong. So what was your just like favorite thing to use on him? What ability feels cool?
Honestly, I was surprised by this myself. I don't know what the name of the build is, but you throw down a big circle, and can I cuss? Like there's fucking fire coming up the entire time. And I thought that would be just kind of a lame ability. It's incredible for control, it's great damage, and visually it's very pleasing. So it's its W, actually. It was great to be able to use that. And then also Cataclysm, like, I'm not like a WoW nerd, but I can respect what Deathwing brings to World of Warcraft. And you feel like it with Cataclysm. We were able to get a couple of resets on top of forts. I actually had a really fun push on Cursed Hollow where we took out one fort, then we pushed with the keep on the same curse. I got a reset, and then we wiped their team and then won the game. So I got 3 resets in the span of 20 seconds.
That sounds like some amazing Deathwing gameplay. I'm proud of you.
You know what? Sometimes I do what I do, you know, Kai.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm sure the button mashers will be happy to see you bringing Deathwing to them on your stream super soon, definitely. Thank you, Tim Trixler-Frazier. Have a great
Thank you, Guy. Appreciate it.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on the Blizzcon show floor. We learned a lot about Deathwing. I am KiyeBerries, and this is my friend, the Coffee from Coffee Club TV.
That's me. She said it best herself. You know, I gotta say, Kai, what a freaking day. What a day. Met a lot of great people with their amazing first impressions of this new hero in the Nexus. We had some experienced people. We had some new players like this Tim. And I'm excited to get my hands on him myself.
I am too. So we're gonna head home. Thank you guys for being here and watch the rest of our videos here on Heroes Hearth later.